Hello, this is the second video from lesson 1. This is where we left off, hidden lines. So when you're seeing dark lines, those are the edges of the object. Now dashed lines represent features that would be hidden behind other surfaces. Here we have a countersunk hole, here we have another hole, and here we have the ledge. Now when we're putting lines on a drawing, there is an order of precedence. So a visible line will always take precedence over and cover up a center line or a hidden line when they coincide. So in this particular case, a hidden line takes precedence over line C. So in this case, we have C here would be this line back over here. So therefore, it's not a center line. A visible line always takes precedence over and covers up a center line or a hidden line when they coincide. Now, if you're working in 3D, if you're creating your drawings for me this semester in 3D, it's really easy to create the views because the work is in creating the model itself, but then the software kind of generates these views for you. If you're working in 2D CAD, then you have to generate the lines and space these views out accordingly. So it's a little bit more difficult. Now, when you're creating your drawings for me, be mindful of how the parts are laid out within your border. So when you're submitting drawings for me, you're going to have a border like this. Title block, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you'll have one from a previous class that you can use. That should be suitable. But we have the 3 views in this particular case. They're laid out such that they're too close to each other for the page that they're on. Over here it's too far apart, and over here it's about right. Now I can't really get too picky on you for this as far as scoring, but really, you should strive to be in this range right here, about right. One of the things I'm going to look for in the drawings you submit are, is it readable? Does it look nice? Or is it too close or too far or too jumbled, stuff like that. Now, isometric views. Isometric views are pretty cool. So you have our 3 orthographic views, and then we have an isometric view over here that really helps the reader looking at the drawing understand what the part looks like. If you're working in 3D, like Autodesk Inventor or something like that, yeah, it should be pretty easy to add isometric views to your drawings. But if you're working in 2D AutoCAD, it's a little bit more difficult to generate the lines that create those isometric views. Visualization. You have an exercise in your first assignment about visualization. It takes practice to envision flat representations of 3D objects. Take a moment to examine the view shown below and try to picture the object. This has to do with what your homework is. Views of a surface. There are terms used for describing a surface orientation to the plane of projection. The 3 orientations of a plane are normal, inclined, and oblique. Okay, in this case, these are normal surfaces. In this case, the surface is inclined to the normal plane, and in this case, it's oblique. Angles. If an angle is in a normal plane, it will show the true size. Okay, so not in all cases will these angles show the true size in every view. In this particular case, you'll show the true size, but in this case, it's not, and it's something you got to look at, especially if you're working in 2D AutoCAD. Similar shapes. If a flat surface is viewed from several different positions, each view will show the same number of sides in a similar shape. Now what we're talking about here is we're talking about this surface right here. It's going to look the same in these 2 views, and this is going to look the same in these 2 views, and this is going to kind of look the same in these 2 views, etc., etc. One method of interpreting sketches is to reverse the mental process of using them in projection. Again, this is something that you're going to have an aptitude for. You probably already have an aptitude for it. And the assignment number one is we'll see if you have an aptitude for assignment number one. Because interpreting these things is probably something that, if this is your major, you're probably pretty good at it already. Okay, this is going to be the end of this movie. I'm going to start up another movie for the next presentation on section and auxiliary views.